Hi, welcome back. I'm Naren, and in this video, we will be checking the sunk cost fallacy related to the investment. So, let's say you have some investment. So, when is the right time to exit that investment? Is it like you will have some number that after such profit you want to exit, or you have some loss percentage so that after the investment goes beyond that loss you want to exit? So for example, let's say you have 10k invested in two separate stocks, 10k each, and stock 1 is up 10%, whereas stock 2 is down 10%, and now you immediately need say 9k. You want to take that investment out. So among the stock 1 and stock 2, which one you will choose to sell? So stock 1, you know that it has already given you 10% profit. Whether you want to pick that, or the stock 2, which have already lost 10% with that stock. Most of us will choose stock 1. So that is a judgment bias, because we know that with stock 1 we have already gained 10%, so we can easily disregard that without any guilt. Whereas in stock 2, we know that we have it has resulted in some losses, and we just don't want to let it go. We want to recover the loss. So here, even though stock 1 has gained 10%, so that implies that there may be some good probability that it will even increase more. That means you might gain even more from stock 1. Whereas in stock 2, you have already lost 10%, and there is some probability that you might lose even more. Even in such scenario, we prefer to sell stock 1 compared to stock 2. So this is considered as judgment bias, and also a kind of a planned continuation or commitment bias when compared to stock 2, like why we don't want to sell stock 2. So it's like a continuation of existing plan in the face of changing conditions. So even though the conditions might have changed, but we don't want to change our plans of the original investment. It's more like we are overly optimistic in our estimate of the probability of success. And also we consider the loss as a personal responsibility, because we had taken a judgment in investing in stock 2, and we don't want to exit with a loss, because it's more about the accountability of our decisions. So it's difficult to admit that it was a wrong decision in investing in stock 2. So some of the psychological reasons why we will choose stock 2 compared to stock 1, even though we might end up losing more. One is loss aversion. So we try to compare the price paid. So we treat that as a benchmark, even though that is irrelevant to take a decision now whether to sell stock or not. And framing effect. So when we look at it like a loss, like in this case, since stock 2 has already lost 10%, if we sell it now, it's more like the loss is materializing now, instead of a hope of we can recover the loss in stock 2. Whereas the stock 1 might even have more gain, but when we look at the decision from the point of view of loss versus gain, so we try to avoid loss. So even though both might be similar, have similar results, but the framing effect will affect our decision making. And over optimistic probability bias. Like whenever we invest on something, suddenly we will have even more positive evaluation of that investment just because we have invested, compared to a kind of third party view that you might have before investment. And also the personal responsibility for failure, you just want to avoid hoping that it might recover in future. And also, if you exit say stock 2, it kind of implies that the initial investment, the money, the time, everything is looks like wasteful. So what happens most of the time is you will throw more good money into the same stock too, which is already bad, instead of admitting that the previous investment is bad and you need to exit. So this is the sunk cost. So it is a cost that has already been incurred and cannot be recovered. So it's in the past. So it's no longer relevant to the decisions about the future. So we should not compare the original price that we paid in taking the current decisions, because we need to think about the future, whether it will give you more gain or loss in future compared to the current price. So we should always be mindful of cutting our losses. So how can you avoid some of these things? So remember that investing is inherently forward looking. So we should focus on current and future costs and benefits. We should not give more priority to the past commitments. And we should avoid feeling of wastefulness with guilt on our past decisions, because we would have taken those decisions in the right mindset when we took those decisions, but we should not now look back and feel wasteful about those decisions. And try as far as possible to keep your emotions away from the financial decisions, and never throw more money at a losing investment, though it's a tricky thing when you will decide that it is an investment is a losing one, because hope will always come into picture, thinking that it will come back to the previous or the higher values. So we can try number based exit plans to avoid these emotional biases. We can have some percent loss that you can tolerate, so that it can be a trigger to exit some of the investments. So it is the maximum that you can tolerate, and if you have that number, then once it crosses that loss number, then without thinking whether it can recover, you can directly go ahead and cut your losses. And you can also have some limit on the time horizon that you can wait for each one. So if you don't have a predefined number, then your emotion will take over and you might indefinitely wait for that to recover. And you can use the asset allocation strategy with asset class limits, so that the limit in each asset classes can trigger how much you can take risks in each asset class, how much you can invest. And also periodically you can rebalance your asset classes that can trigger some of these loss making exits also. So before investment, we should always think about the worst case that can happen to that investment and be ready for that, because when you have that information that what is the worst case that you can take, then that is kind of a criteria for exiting. So you already know when is the at least right time for you to exit the corresponding investment. Hope this is useful, and if you find this useful, please like, subscribe, and share, and always cut your losses. Thanks for watching.